The Nation Network presents Coming in Hot. Here are your hosts, Brent Wallace, Jason York, and Bobby Ryan.
Hey everybody, we are live on YouTube. Brent Wallace, Jason York, and Bobby Ryan with you, coming in hot. Presented by, as always, as we like to say, held together, Renfrew Pro tape, the ones with the green core. Renfrew Pro, great for stocking stuffers this time of year. I know Yorkie always loved to have a roll of tape in his stocking on Christmas morning. Make sure you stop by and get some of all the major leading retailers, and then renfrewpro.com. You can get it ordered and shipped to your house. All right, kids, it's Christmas week. I don't know what that means because none of us are getting anybody gifts. However, well, actually, Yorkie, I got you a mic yesterday in a new camera. But I wore my Ode to Bobby Ryan Christmas sweater today. It is says reindeer on the front, very nice, and on the back it has number 9 and Rudolph. Yeah, so there. So
I like it.
That's the closest I can get to.
I didn't even mention it before. I mean, that's a type of red that Yorkie's got on. I got to get more festive in here this week. I'm gonna up my game, guys. I'll be here. I'll be ready for you. It's coming.
Just if you could like
one
just
more
some kind of tinsel on the light.
Something.
Is there an ounce of decoration in that house?
Zero. Not an ounce. Not an ounce. No. Nothing going on over here.
I pulled the red out. At least I did something. I got the red going at least.
I'm going to try something for you guys on Thursday. See if my Amazon order gets here in time.
Okay. I'm a little disappointed you guys haven't bought into Christmas week, but we'll see what happens on Thursday with our final show. By the way, Frank Saravelli was supposed to join us today. Travel plans got in the way, and so he will be with us on Thursday as we wrap up 2022 and get ready for 2023. Lots to chat about. One is our good friend Andrew Hammond. The Hamburglar has finalized his final run. He's now just going to work the drive-through at McDonald's for the rest of his life as he's retired from professional hockey. We'll talk about him. I was trying to get him on the show, but he too is traveling today. He may join us next week, or I should say earlier in the new year. Hammy, by the way, we all remember his run. We'll talk about that in a sec because Bobby was part of that group. Also, the Sens in Winnipeg today as they wrap up their road trip and get set to play 2 games at home before the Christmas break. Let's start with Winnipeg, gentlemen. They've lost, by the way, I think, two. Ottawa's won 2 in a row in Winnipeg, which is a tough place to play. It's minus 20 there today. Like, they had an off day in Winnipeg. If that doesn't make you angry for the game tonight, I don't know what does.
You're asking for a windowless room. It's man, that place. You know what's crazy though? Most of the time that you're in Winnipeg, you don't go outside once. Because you can walk to the rink underground, and you do. So it's I saw another one of our good friends and buddies in a little bit of a Twitter war yesterday, going over some stuff about the hotel and some comments that he made. So I was laughing at that last night, but I've always liked Winnipeg, but it's a room service city. It's just one of those places that, it's like going into Newark or some other cities. You just plan to eat in and be in the hotel room for a couple of days.
Yeah. Is it still, so this is the thing, Bobby, when you're done playing for as long as I have, you now discover the hotel lobby bars, because usually you try and avoid where the coaches are. They're always in the lobby bars. Winnipeg has a sneaky good lobby bar. That Fairmont lobby bar there, Wally, right? It's got the nice wood walls in there, the mahogany. They make a fantastic old
I was always in my room working.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
stop it.
Okay.
And good beer nuts in there. So bad city, terrible weather, but fantastic lobby bar there at the, I think it's a Fairmont, right, Wally? Is that where you stayed? Fairmont?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, it's the only hotel that's down there. But
I guess I haven't been done. Oh yeah, you know what? I haven't been done long enough because that, like you said, Yorkie, the lobby bar is always off limits to players. That's the coach's kind of spot. So you just walk by and lick the windows. You're like, man, it looks like it'd be fun in there.
There's Bobby, were you on the trip
that was a good one.
That there was the police escort into Winnipeg that got Jordan Silmser in trouble, basically? So they
don't know.
for whatever
Yeah, I
reason,
mean, I
you
would
guys
have
had a police escort into the arena from the airport. I think it was from the airport, must have been. Anyway, people saw pictures of it, and then people got upset, taxpayers, and said, why are we funding this? And I think the Sens had to pay for the police escort.
Come on.
Because our camera, I think it was TSN
yeah.
cameras showed the police escort. Yeah. Meanwhile, in Florida, you always get one from the Fort Lauderdale into the arena. That one's great.
That's right.
Police escorts are fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Winnipeg, shall we? Ottawa, by the way, 6 points out of a wild card spot with a couple games in hand. It's a big win. Okay, it's a big game. Do we still get into they keep moving, they just keep pressing? We might have a shot here, Yorkie.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I just think they're just looking in the old it's the old whatever catchphrase, whatever you want to call it. I don't think the guys were thinking that far ahead. Just going to Winnipeg tonight, and it's a pretty good matchup for them. I know Ottawa's got big injuries. Norris is out, Joseph's out, Zub's still out, but Winnipeg's missing a lot. Stützle, yeah, those guys are pretty good. But Winnipeg's they're missing lots of guys as well, and they've got. I think Riddick's starting tonight, so Hellebuck's out. They're missing Wheeler. They're missing some key guys. Ehlers is out. So this is a good opportunity for Ottawa. And it's going to be very, very tough because everybody around Ottawa keeps winning. But win the games you have. Win the games you have. You got another game against Washington and you got Detroit. So at least now we're talking about, hey, maybe if they keep winning some games, they might be in the mix. So that's a good thing versus where this team was a couple of weeks ago, which was, all right, what are they getting in the draft? Are they going to be a bottom three? It's a great draft. Right. So now we're talking a little bit differently, which at the end of the day, that's really what this season should be about. This team trying to get into the mix to play some games and say, hey, we got an opportunity. And that's what they have. They have an opportunity versus what the Anaheim Ducks have right now, which is going to the rink and being miserable every day. At least these guys are happy. And it's a much better, I would think, Bobby, it's a much better mood around the team right now for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. When you string together a few wins and you put yourself, like you said, we're back in the conversation. They're 8 points out with a couple games in hand, and they're going to get a chance to play some of those teams directly ahead of them here in the next little while. So certainly, I think that they're probably looking right now as the time that they got to press a little bit and try to make some ground up before you get into the dog days of January and February. Towards the middle to the later part of that month. Those are always the hardest months, right? When you can't see the end and you know that you're not sure where you are. If they can make some ground up here in the next 2 to 3 weeks and play some really, really meaningful hockey down the stretch, you're right. The mood's going to be great, and wherever the chips fall at the end of it, at least they know that they pressed.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting part is Zub, Stützle, and Joseph were all kind of like 1 week, 2 week type injuries. So I expect them all to probably be back the beginning of January. And then Josh Norris, I think he's back early January, which means if they can get a full roster and be, 4 points out of a wild card, this is a pretty drastically different city mindset wise, right? And I know you guys just talked about it of getting up there, but if they get all those key players back, I think this changes the whole dynamic around this group where they now legitimately think they have a shot.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah. Go ahead, Yorkie. Sorry.
I think with a young team too, and not that you want to be in this position, but I think it's better for a young team to be chasing than to be in a position where teams are trying to catch you. Because the damage has kind of been done. Well, it has been done for the Senators. They've had their bad stretch. They put themselves in another hole. So you kind of play a little looser because you kind of done it to yourself already. Now you're like, okay, here's what we're going to catch. Here's what we're going to do. And all you kind of think about is just playing hard because you've gone through your adversity. And not that there won't be some more, because there probably will be, but I'd have to think that's the major adversity this team is going to go through this year. So now you play a little looser, and it's not that it's easier to play. I would think mentally for young teams, it's nicer to kind of set your sights on some teams you're trying to catch, like a Detroit, for example, who they got coming up here 2 more times, like a Washington. Those are fun games to play in. A lot more fun playing in these games than, like I said, with Anaheim and Columbus. Like that's just pure misery. You're going to the rink every day thinking, when's the coach getting fired? Who's getting traded? I can't wait till Christmas. This sucks. Like those are conversations. Those are conversations the Ottawa Senators aren't having anymore, which, like we were talking about earlier, makes it a lot more pleasant.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams right now that are doing push-up pyramids, getting ready for the All-Star break down in Turks and Caicos. that's not fun. That's not fun. Yeah. The boys are running a pyramid after every practice. But no, that you hate to think that a 4-12 start was what comes back to bite you in the ass at the end of the year, and it very well could be, unfortunately. Yeah. But it'd be nice just to see them climb one spot at a time and get themselves, in that 4 to 6 point window, and then need a run. You're going to need a run at some point, and string together 5, 6, 7 wins and really get yourself there. But as they're getting guys back and the guys that are playing at an elite level continue to, there's no reason that they can't get back into the picture.
Yep. And they play pretty well, which means, you look at their power play is 4th overall in the league. They have the 4th best road penalty kill in the league, and penalty killing has been very, very good of late. Their general rule of thumb, right, is you want both of them to add up to 100%. And right now they're at 108.3% with their power play and penalty kill. It's clear special teams has been a big difference. I think they're minus 9-ish 5-on-5 goals, but really the special teams has carried it. Bobby, you know what it's like to have that power play clicking. Do you see them gaining momentum just from their special teams?
Yeah, it's kept them in games. It's won them games. The penalty kill looks much improved recently, for one, but at the same time, and we've talked about it on this show in particular, just how good that first unit is, no matter who you're sliding in there, to take the place of a Stützle or to take the place of a Norris. Right now, that top 5 unit, I'll just call it Chucky's unit. They look so comfortable reading off of each other. They look so comfortable entering with speed and backing guys up. So, to go on a run, you need power play and penalty kill. You need special teams to carry it a lot of the way. And then you can clean up 5-on-5 and just try to be 500 at 5-on-5. But if you can rely on those two things and a good goaltender back there, it can carry you a long way. It really can.
Yeah, two biggest reasons why this team's playing better. Number one, Bobby just set up the power play. Power play's been amazing. And Talbot, I think we talked about this last show. He's making about 4 really key saves every first period that they weren't getting earlier on in the season. And it gives you a mulligan. Okay, crap. He made the save. Let's go here, boys. Let's wake up. And he's been doing that. So that's what you need. A young team is going to make mistakes. And that's why Talbot was brought in. He was brought in to do exactly what he's been doing. And that's why they're winning games. Goaltending, special teams, it can win you games, especially early in the season like this. It's those are the 2 biggest reasons for me, guys.
I wanted to check with that on Stützle and Norris coming back. So neither one of them are going to be in your top power play unit when they're healthy. Is that what we're saying right now?
I'm saying you don't mess with a good thing, and it's rolling right now. And I think every player understands that. So it's a very, very good possibility that this top 5 stays together.
Yeah. Why would you change it? There's you got everything you want on this power play. There's so many options. I'd hate to kill against these guys because they've got Shabbat's now a shooting threat. They've got DeBrincat, who's a shooting threat on his one-timer. You got Giroux, who you have no idea what he's going to do when he has the puck. And then you can go right down to Brady, who does those. You don't know what he's going to do. He might pull you over. He might put it through his legs. And then Batherson's in there for that quick one-hitter in the slot. This is the best. I think this is the best I've ever seen the Senators power play since I've been watching, since I've been retired. It's they've got threats everywhere, Bobby, and it's not that it's the Tampa Bay Lightning's power play, but kind of similar. It's like, who do you cover? You're killing, and you're like, I don't know. It's I'm with you though. I wouldn't Stützle and Norris, when they get back, if this is still going, they get it. They're pros. It's the way it is. You wait your turn and something happens. Somebody else will get hurt. And things change.
Yeah. You got to be a power killer for a little bit.
To me. I know, but damn it, like a 35 goal scorer sitting on the bench who tied for I think the team. Well, he led the league in goals last year on power play. Like I know,
but don't forget, Wally.
I get it. I understand it.
Don't forget, Norris is going to come back, and it's going to take him a while to get in the game shape. He's going to have to get his timing back. You just don't step back in game one and say, "Hey, you're on the first power play. Here you go." No, it's gonna
not
take
with Dono skating him. He'll be ready on game one.
Hey, listen,
fastest guy out there.
Dono is supposed to come on the show today. He's not happy with Norris right now. He heard Norris was chirping him, and it got back to him. It's
no.
Like Bobby says the word, I love that he says he's salty right now, very salty, not happy with. I
hate to be Josh Norris tomorrow when he gets on that ice.
He's gonna get it.
Oh no!
It is so good though.
Josh Norris on our show.
I always hated it because I always hurt my hands, and the problem with the hands was that you could bag skate, right, and you could do everything. I just couldn't touch a puck. So it was just me and Dono out there all the time. And I always loved when he skated us because he was a player and not that far removed. You could talk him out of a lot of stuff. You could be like, hey, I think we're good for the day. I think maybe just one more, not four. Okay, call it a day. So I love Dono, one of my favorite guys in the organization.
The Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
Did Jesse Winchester skate you?
Yeah. You know what? Right before the playoff run, I was out for 6 weeks, and it was myself. Jesse was with us a lot. Dono, Neeler was hurt with a hand injury. Clark MacArthur was trying to decide if he was going to come back, and then Alfie. And we had just epic battles. You talk about these guys, the Sens were out there trying to make the playoff push, and I was more concerned about coming to the rink and just trying to beat Alfie once in keep away. So we would come in, and then Clarky and I got into it. There were sticks thrown, there was yelling. It was a really good. It was like a second training camp. We were absolutely grinding back there.
I love it. Oh man,
who's more competitive, Alfie or Clark MacArthur?
God, just such different guys. But I would say Alfie's probably more competitive overall. But Clarky goes right to snap show, and then one of my closest friends on the team for years, and we're just screaming and mother effing each other on the ice, and that was the closest I've ever been to a fight in practice in Ottawa. Was me and Clark one time, and then it was 4 hours later I had to pick him and his wife up for the Halloween party. So we were laughing about it by the time, but we were absolutely going after each other on the ice one time.
Oh, that's good.
You'd never know that looking at Clark MacArthur that he gets that angry. He's got a
little snap in him. Yeah, nice. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
It's funny because, well, I guess not funny, but when he got hit in practice by, God, why can't I think of his name at the moment? The defenseman. You were the first guy over there to in training camp to say confront. Why can't I think of this name? But anyway.
Seeloff.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. I do miss Clarky. He was a lot of fun to be around. Quickly back to Winnipeg before we get to Hammond and my tie-in to Bobby and Winnipeg and Andrew Hammond. I figured it out today. Is who wins tonight's game? We want the sure bet from Jason York. Where do I put my money?
Oh boy, you're putting me on the spot. So is it confirmed that David Riddick is starting, Wally? Do we know that for a fact?
I believe
need to know my goalies before I give you the sure thing. Although I was wrong.
DJ Smith won't announce his goalie, so
it's Talbot's playing. We know that. Come on.
I know, but does it really matter? Does it really matter to the players who the starting goalie is? Did Bobby, you ever go into a game and go, damn it, I prepped for Henrik Lundqvist and now it's Cam Talbot? Like, have you ever really got that excited about a goalie?
No, not really. We always had the iPad in the room that would just play on a loop of all the goals that the goalie had let in previously, or you could kind of pick up trends, and every now and again in more important games, I think I would grind on that a little bit more. But I wasn't ever concerned about, how to shoot on a goalie by any means. All I really ever wanted to watch on that stuff was how they approach shootouts. Right, that was my only thing. If the goalie's an aggressive goalie in the shootouts, or if he's going to sit back, that was all I ever used that for. So no, I think especially after you've been in the league for a little bit of time, it really doesn't matter. They're not changing anything for Rittich over Hellebuyck, that's for sure.
Yeah, and for your own team, all the players know who's starting. They come in like, who your team is starting. You just don't tell the media. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is.
Right.
But for your own goalie, a little bit for the D. You know who's playing, because as a defenseman, there would be certain goalies play the puck differently. Certain guys you talk to differently. Yeah, I hate guys back there that don't talk and are really quiet. Like, those guys are not helpful back there. But back to your question though, Wally, who do I like tonight? This is a tough one. This is a tough one with all the injuries. Ottawa's got to come back and play Washington. I'm going to say, because of the key losses to Winnipeg, I like Ottawa in this one. I like the way Talbot's playing. I like the way that power play is functioning right now. I think with some good goaltending and a good power play, I would take Ottawa if pressed on this one. And I think they're feeling a little bit better than the Jets are right now. So Jets are coming off a loss, so is Ottawa. But yeah, we'll go Ottawa. But I'm about 70% sure here. It's not a no-brainer like the last time Ottawa played the Ducks. Like, that was a slam dunk. Like, that was free money. That was free.
So,
I would
Bobby,
probably pick another game to bet
on this.
Sorry?
So you're taking Ottawa. That's all. I'm going to give Bobby some help on this. One, Winnipeg is 6-3 in their last 9. They sit 3rd overall in the Western Division, and they're rolling. And Josh Morrissey, who they've talked about as a Norris Trophy contender, and Kyle Connor, both on 9-game point streaks. So I'm just trying to help you maybe change Yorkie's mind.
I'm not changing.
I don't know that I want to, but I'm only going to say I'm 65% sure that the Sens are going to win. So I'm going to hedge a little less, because I'm taking the Sens. They had, they were in Winnipeg. They had a day off. They didn't do much. The boys are rested, and they're like we said, they're coming off a loss. So I actually like the Sens in this one too.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I'm looking on my phone for another game here to give people a sure bet here, because you need people.
No, we only care about this one.
The people are relying on us. I would stay away from this one. Go. You know what? The Kings are playing the Ducks. Take the Kings in that. I like the theory of whoever the Ducks are playing the Ducks.
You got a better chance.
You can't put Bobby. Oh wait.
A sure bet would just be that the Ducks might get shut out again.
I was going to say, Yorkie can't keep making picks against the Ducks as Bobby's former team. Then I realized you play on the Ducks too, so I guess it's okay.
I was there twice, man. I liked it so much I went back as a free agent.
Okay, quickly, I'm moving on. Before we do that, this show is always brought to you by BEI, Bonnechere Excavating Inc. Go to BonnechereExcavating.com for all your landscape needs. Also, they are looking for employment, and they are the ones who are helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. 613-432-1120. BEI, Bonnechere Excavating, helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. Okay. Andrew Hammond retired, the Hamburglar. Bobby, he was a teammate of yours. He was very impressive, obviously, in that run, which you guys by the way, he was never expected to start in a game. He was just called up to sit on the bench for Robin Lehner until Craig Anderson got healthy. And then Robin Lehner got run into by Clark MacArthur. They both had concussions, and in comes Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar. 6 games in, Bobby, you are in Winnipeg, and you, by the way, score the game-winning goal in Winnipeg. I don't know if you remember this goal at all, but you fell down. No, you didn't fall down the blue line. You were trying to chip the puck in on a bad pass by Carlson.
Yeah, but you can't tell Carl that was a bad pass because apparently I slowed down at the wrong time. So you can actually see him be pissed off. But I was like, buddy, I can't slow up for you, okay?
Really?
Like, it takes a little.
He's not celebrating the goal.
No, he's a little mad. I think that one might have taken him off the score sheet too, because I think Chasen touched the puck behind the net. But right about now, I stopped because I didn't want to go offside, and then you could see him just turn off, like just disgusted with me. But yeah, nonetheless, what a play by Mika made a hell of a play there to get that out to us. And actually I remember this one because it was a while until I scored again after that. Hammond went on a run, and I went on a dry spell.
What? Okay. What did you say? What did you toe pick at the? Did you toe pick at the blue line there? Or were you diving for the puck?
I was just diving. I was diving to try to corral it. It was just a touch ahead of me, and you could just see me diving for it. Like maybe I can pick this up somehow, and yeah, it worked out for the best, I guess.
Look at that! I slide, just come in. Nobody knows you're there.
Yeah, that's it. You just got to fall down, act like you know where you're going, get somewhere slowly, and somebody will find you. That's it. I got a couple hundred just getting lost.
That's awesome.
By the way, the only goal Bobby Ryan ever scored in Winnipeg is that goal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, just a picture of physical fitness right there. Just sucking him into.
You are wearing the A though.
I didn't play very many games in Winnipeg. I guess it was just once a year, right? It felt like that's probably the city I spent the least amount of time in ever in my career. But yeah, this was the start of a good run. Hammond made a save in this game I think Wheeler made a cross ice pass, and there was a one-timer in the game that he somehow miraculously saved with his head. I'll never forget it because we were like, this guy's just unconscious right now. Something's going on. And that was kind of 5-6 games into the run, and it just continued to get better for him. It was incredible.
Somebody
he
tweeted out a picture
to play that game.
Really?
So and I don't know if Bobby remembers
That's right.
this, you guys went into Minnesota.
Yeah.
And you won in Minnesota. You fly into Winnipeg because I'm there that morning in the hotel. You guys don't skate. I'm pretty sure it's back to back. You don't skate. Dave Cameron comes over and says Craig Anderson, who had been hurt, is going to start this game. They basically had asked. I think Hammy had asked for a break, and so Andy was like, "Yep." Somehow it got relayed to us. Craig Anderson's going to start. Anderson is over off to the side. And all of a sudden, Dave Cameron goes over and talks with him. And I think Pierre Gru's there. Dave comes back and goes, Andrew Hammond will be starting tonight. And I've never forgotten that. And it was the weirdest thing. And so my understanding is Andy was like, I'm not playing tonight.
Andy did that a few times when he's like, no, I'm good. I'm on the wrong side of 35.
Do you remember? Yeah, do you remember anything about that?
I don't remember it. No, not really. There was so much mystery around Andy's injury there, and I can't even remember what the injury was, but it was way worse than I think the media and everybody had known. And he was trying to get back, but then at the same time, as he was getting back, Hammond was on this run, so it was like you're kind of losing your job. But I think we all knew that. I think everybody knew it was going to be Andy's net when it mattered in playoff time, which it became after game 2, I want to say. But yeah, he was hurt, and he wasn't, and I think they were trying to force him back in, and then that's part of the reason why Hammer stayed in for so long was Andy was just going, no, I'm not ready, and I'm not playing hurt.
Hey, Bobby, what was Bobby? I got a
that's
question
the hand
on
injury.
What
the hand injury? Yeah.
So Hammond comes into this situation, obviously crazy run. I remember doing a few games and watching this, but from an insider's perspective, what was Hammond like in the room? Like when all this was happening to him, was he just, man, I can't believe this is happening, or like how did he handle it?
You could tell that he was almost a deer in the headlights a little bit right out of the gate, because I don't know what his expectations were going in, but for us as guys in the room, I don't think ours were overly high. We knew he was a capable goalie, but not like this, right?
Yeah.
So we had no idea. And then it was just like, stay out of his way and let him stay in this little zone that he's in. It was incredible, man. I've never seen or been part of anything like it since or beforehand, that's for sure. But he's the most normal goalie I've ever met. He didn't have a ton of little idiosyncrasies like a lot of goalies do. He just kind of went about his business and went to the rink, and just an awesome guy, very, very funny guy, very light and down to earth guy. And he turned that run into a payday a little bit for the next couple of years,
Yeah, he
which
did.
this
Yep.
is a guy that, you know, at one point was thinking about moving on before this happened to do something else. So, he, you know, he turned it into a nice career for himself, got himself some money, and yeah, and now he gets to move on and do whatever he wants, right?
Yeah, great story.
Did you guys have fun with any of that, or was it just Andrew Hammond and the Hamburglar on his own? Like, or were you like, what was the room like? Was it a joking type atmosphere that way, or was it just kind of silly nonsense?
Just kind of silly nonsense. I don't think anybody, especially him, I don't think he took it very seriously either. Maybe Curtis Lazar did a little bit more than anybody else, but at the same time, no, because that was, I mean, whatever the run was, I can't remember how many games he played or started in a row, but he just, he went about his business. We went about ours, and we were still trying to, you know, it was kind of crunch time too. So you can't really get caught up in anything at that time of year. You're just trying to get ready for what's coming, which is the playoffs. And yeah, he handled that situation incredibly well. Like all the media that came on, he handled it very, very well.
Yep. Do you have any particular memory from that run? Like, there's the Mark Stone overtime winner in Pittsburgh. There's obviously the clinching game in Philadelphia, any of that stuff. But is there anything for you that sticks out?
I would say I would always go back to that one save he made in Winnipeg. And then there was another one that he took a slap shot from, I think, Zach Boychuk on the island. And remember, if you can remember it popped his mask off, and we were like, this guy's got to be concussed. And he finished the game, and I think he finished the game, got the win. But he just, I mean, there was nothing that was standing in his way at this point in time frame. It was just incredible. But that one where we were like, oh no, that's our season, because that was, you know, Andy's hurt. This guy's going to go down, and then I don't know who's next in line. Wasn't going to be Robin with his injury. So, just his sheer resilience was incredible.
He's told this story before on our show, but so he was living at the Brook Street, and he had back issues through this, and so they ended up, the Sens bought him a bed and brought it in, like this, I don't know, whatever it cost, $1,500 bed or something, and had it shipped in. Might have been $5,000. I can't remember now, but that's one of the stories that came out I found really interesting. Of they would do anything for him. They could have bubble wrapped him, but whatever it took to keep him in the net. But he was exhausted. He admits getting into the postseason, right? Of having played 21-2 and then trying to carry this team in the playoffs, and he ran out of gas, which is too bad.
It is.
All right. People, Two Wheels Down says Hamburglar going into the Ring of Honor. Yeah, I'm not so sure. But he is folklore for sure. Like, if you say the Hamburglar, everybody knows exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Somebody tweeted out a picture today. He said it was his greatest moment at a Sens game. I forget who the guy was, but he's sitting in the stands with a little burglar mask on. And to think about, if you, as a player, if you can make a grown man wear a burglar mask to a hockey game, you've done something pretty special. Like, people were dressing up as burglars in the stands, and the guy, like, I just saw this tweet today, and I started laughing my head off. It's like, guy's got a little mask on, he's in the stands. I'm like, this is awesome, and it's all because of this little run, which was fantastic. Sorry, Wally.
No, that's okay. Since I'm dressed in a Christmas sweater, this probably doesn't come as a shock to you, but I wore one on national television.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. Yeah.
Do you remember? The mask is probably still in the office. It's in there somewhere.
I think I have one somewhere. I'm gonna have to try and find it, because I do have one somewhere. Do you remember Eric Greiba? I don't know if he still does. Owned a duck call company. They made duck calls, I think, like in Cornwall area. Anyway, he gave them to me to try and blow one on a broadcast, and I think I blew it out of the wrong end. And I remember I was in LA on that trip, and someone stopped me and goes, "I can teach you how to do that properly next time." It's like, okay, maybe I should stop with the gimmicks. Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, I do enjoy the Hamburglar run. Was one of those moments you won't forget. Obviously, if you're an Ottawa Senator fan, it was just good times. I really that stuff. Was fun to watch.
Absolutely.
It's fun to be part of. That's for sure.
All right. Thursday show's coming up. Just before we go, if you've got time, go to Instagram, Renfrew Pro. They are giving away stuff every day. I think today is, I can't remember if it's skates or whatnot, but they're giving away all kinds of stuff each and every day. So give them a follow, Renfrew Pro on Instagram, and look to try and enter into those contests for sure. Guys, we will see you on Thursday with Frank Cervelli. So I'm going to leave you to homework to come up with questions for Frank, maybe on the sale, maybe on any rumors, but there's really no rumors until they make a sale, I guess.
We got boots on the ground here, Wally.
You go ahead. I was going to say, you go ahead and come up with something, Wally, and then send it to me on Thursday morning, okay?
You dressing up,
we
Bobby,
just did
for
a
Thursday?
full show.
He's a Philly guy. I'll just talk to him about Philly and cheesesteaks and pizza and shit. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, there you go. Bobby, you dressing up Thursday?
Listen,
are you going to get a Christmas sweater on?
So I gotta go to a Christmas Eve party at my mother-in-law's friend's house with a bunch of people, and I got a Christmas shirt that has a picture of Santa and says, "Ask your mom if I'm real." So I'm hoping it comes in tomorrow so I can wear it on the show. Because
get it.
If you're gonna, I gotta do it. I was like, yeah. We'll
Bad Santa.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Billy Bob.
I still have more sweaters, so.
I don't.
So York,
I'm hoping this thing comes in.
I got something.
I know you're shocked that I have more.
I'll wear a hat or something. Maybe a Santa hat.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we just did a full show without any script, so you're welcome.
Nice, man. Well
done. So it's the way we like it.
That's it. Who said you couldn't carry
See
a
you
show,
on Thursday,
Wally?
everybody.
See you, gents.
Just leave it up to you guys. Thanks, everybody.